In the past, I've covered a lot of claims and myths seen in the Zelda games, but now I want to take a look at another franchise, Super Mario. Now I've done a video on Super Mario 64 specifically, but this time I want to look at myths from all the Super Mario games. All 2D titles like Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros, as well as the more modern 3D games like Super Mario Odyssey and Super Mario Sunshine. So without further ado, let's look at these 15 myths to find out which ones are true and which ones are false. Number 15. One of my favorite Mario games out there is Super Mario Sunshine. I grew up with it, but even now, I still love it. But I will admit, this game is incredibly odd. I mean, just look at all the levels and worlds seen in this game. And one level that is especially weird is the one where you go into a bottle to collect red coins. But apparently, you can also find a secret here. A special book that apparently was gonna be important. It's called the Noki Bay book, and it's placed inside a rock formation at the bottom of the bottle, behind a door that does not open. But is it really there? Well, yes, because glitches allow both Mario and the camera to clip inside these rocks and view the secret book. Now in the end, we have no idea why it's there. It's not used in the game whatsoever. But some people have come up with theories. A lot of people think it was going to be used in an actual episode in the game, but in the end, Nintendo cut it. Now, this could be the case, however, we have no idea. But still, we at least know it's real, even though Nintendo never wanted us to see it. Number 14. When Super Mario Bros. First came out, Nintendo was able to revive the video game industry after a big crash, and so it became a hit, and many different myths started going around. But no one was able to truly verify them, because the internet wasn't mainstream yet. Now, one that became quite famous was seen in a guidebook known as How to Win at Nintendo Games, by author Jeff Rovin. He mentioned that he had heard rumors of a secret level hidden in the game, one that takes place in a chocolate factory. He claimed that he had no idea where or how to access it, but the mere suggestion was all fans needed to start digging through the game in order to find it. And so people started looking around. I researched the whole thing as well. So, is this real? Well, no. This level isn't in the game whatsoever. It's a complete lie, a hoax, which was either made to mess with people or to catch thieves who were stealing parts of the guidebook to republish them. So yeah, this one is fake. Number 13. Now obviously, there are other mysteries in Super Mario Sunshine, but not all of them were first seen in the game. Many myths start out on the internet with people sharing videos of what they have found, and one that popped up on the internet long ago showed an alternate hub world for Super Mario Sunshine, and some claimed that it could actually be found in the game. So I decided to look into it all. Now this world is actually a beta version of the hub world seen in the game, and Nintendo showed it off at a video game convention to showcase what they were working on. In the end, they didn't use it. But can it still be found in the game somewhere? Well, after doing some research, I found out it's nowhere in the final game. You can't access it. But fans have released a ROM where you can mess around in this level. So if you want, you can do that as well. But it's clear that you can't get to this world in the final game that Nintendo actually released. Number 12. The 90s were weird. Nintendo games were super popular and everyone played them, and as time went on, more and more myths were born. First on the playground, and later on online. And one that is incredibly old is the claim that there's actually a laser suit power-up in Super Mario World. Sometime late in 2006, a video mysteriously surfaced on YouTube supposedly showing an alternate exit in the game's top secret area level. And here you would find a tip block containing a congratulatory note from Nintendo and the secret laser suit, which had the powers of the Cape Feather as well as the ability to fire lasers. And if you look this up on YouTube, you can actually find a lot of footage of people using this power-up and finding it in the world. But is any of this even real? Or are these people just fooling us? Well, I looked into it all and found out that the laser suit doesn't exist. All the footage online is just modded, and the original video was made by K Phoenix, and it's impressive. But this also means that it's not actually in the game. So sadly enough, this crazy strong power-up isn't real. But if it was, it would have been really cool. Number 11. Now obviously, other famous 2D Super Mario games have rumors as well, and of course there are also some about Super Mario Bros. 3. And according to some, there's actually a blue mushroom in the game that makes you invisible. Now this sounds pretty cool, and also too good to be true. So I decided to look into it all in order to find out if any of this was even real. But when I looked for any footage of it, I couldn't find anything. So I searched online, and again I found nothing. Apparently there is a blue mushroom house that has a special minigame, but that's about it. No power-up. So as far as I can see, this myth isn't real. It's more likely that someone just got confused. Number 10. Now sure, the old games are filled with weird rumors, myths and more, but this can't be the case for more modern titles, right? Well, like I said at the beginning of this video, those games also have little secrets, with some being true and some being false. And one that I came across are the secret 8-bit Luigis. They can apparently be found all over the game. But is this really a thing? Well, when looking around, I figured out that they can be found in many different levels and are hidden. So you need to really do your best and look around in the levels to actually find them. And there are quite a lot. A total of 69. Oh yeah, baby! So next time you play the game, be on the lookout for these buggers. Number 9. Now, old power-ups seen in previous Super Mario games often make a return. I mean, we have seen the Fire Flower so many times, it's crazy. And there are many others that have also returned time and time again. But I saw someone online claim that you can actually get your hands on the Raccoon Mario power-up in Super Mario World. But this can't be true, right? Well, no, it's not a thing. But I did come across something else. The Super Leaf from Super Mario Bros. 3 was gonna be in the game, as you can see here in this early development screenshot. But in the end, it was replaced by the Cape Feather and Cape Mario. So the rumor most likely came from here. And as you can see, it's clearly false. Number 8. When Nintendo started making 3D games, they ignored the 2D titles completely. I mean, they didn't make those types of games for around 13 years. But when they finally started making those games again, they came back strong because New Super Mario Bros. Was really good. And it introduced a lot of interesting new things. One of those is the new Mega Mushroom, the strongest power-up ever. But I saw someone claim that you can actually store one of these instead of using it right away. But as far as I know, this is completely impossible. But when I looked into it all, I found out that it actually is possible. As you can see here, using a simple glitch where you bonk your head into a brick while grabbing the Mega Mushroom at the same time allows you to store it, which is really cool. I never knew you could actually do this. Number 7. When Super Mario World came out, it became the biggest and most popular Mario game to date. And so weird rumors emerged, and one of the first was about the secret 97th level that could be unlocked in the game, and people started looking for it. For years, people have been trying to actually find it. But there's one problem: there aren't even 96 levels in the game. This misunderstanding is derived from the fact that there are 96 goalposts, but several levels contain more than one, making the number of unique levels less than 96. Now the two main methods for unlocking the level were collecting all the dragon coins or collecting only specific coins in a certain order, specifically collecting all 5 dragon coins in the sunken ship area while in freefall. This would supposedly open the floor and drop Mario into a pit containing the 97th goalpost. But when you actually try this, nothing happens. There is no 97th goalpost in the original game. It simply doesn't exist no matter what you do. So yeah, this one is fake. Number 6. Now, Jolly Roger Bay is a world in Super Mario 64 that's filled with secrets. It's quite eerie, and its setting reminds me a lot of classic spooky pirate tales. And I saw someone claim something interesting about this place that piqued my interest, to say the least. Someone said that the ship you normally see at the bottom of the water can actually be seen in the sky in an earlier level. But this must be an absolute lie, right? This can't be right. Well, that's what you would imagine imagine, but it's actually true. If you load the map in a level editor, you can see it, and using GameShark codes, you can make it appear. It's partially see-through, and if you go closer to it, the thing becomes harder to see. It's only seen in the very first level, and Nintendo never really used it, but it is actually a thing in the game. So this one is true, and if you want to know more, a YouTuber named The Obsessive Gamer did a whole video about it, which goes into more detail. Number 5. Even though Super Mario 64 was the first 3D Mario game, it's filled to the brim with content and many of its worlds are very complex. And in the depths of Hazy Maze Cave, you will come across a very old and big creature, Dory. He's a large, friendly, plesiosaur-like character that some sort of helps you in the game. But there are also some weird rumors surrounding this beast. And one claims that he can actually eat you if you don't watch out. But I had never seen this in-game. So I decided to look into it. And is it true? Well, no, obviously. Dory is a friendly character in Super Mario 64, but I did figure out where this idea came from. A nearby signpost warns players not to get too close in case they become Dory's lunch. So people most likely got the idea from that. And there's also the small possibility of Mario glitching into the character model and taking damage or drowning. So if you mess up, you will actually die. But it's clear that he doesn't eat you. So this one is false. Number 4. Music is a big thing in Nintendo games, always has been, and in Super Mario Bros. 3, there's one musical myth that could be super handy if it's actually in the game. Apparently, special whistles can be found, and these allow you to warp to different worlds and skip entire sections of the game, but they are very rare. So, can this actually be found in the game? Well, yes, but finding them isn't easy, to say the least. There are 4 of them, and in order to acquire each one, you need to do very specific things. Like dropping behind the scenery of a level, or flying really high in a certain room. So finding this stuff can be stupid hard, but the whistle is quite powerful, so I get it. Number 3. As most of you know, well, if you have been watching my videos for a while at least, I love Super Mario Sunshine. It's my favorite Super Mario game. Or, well, it used to be. Because when Super Mario Odyssey came out, it stole my heart. It's the perfect game! But there's one thing missing, and that's DLC. Nintendo never released any, even though Breath of the Wild did get it, which I always found very strange. But people speculated that Nintendo did want to add DLC in the form of Isle Delfino from Super Mario Sunshine, and the island can even be seen on the map. Now, we never got any of this, but can you actually find Isle Delfino on the globe of the Odyssey? Well, if you do your best, you actually can. It's on the globe, but it can be hard to spot. So while we never got this DLC, Nintendo did add it to this globe, which means that this one is true, but it's sad that they never used it. Number 2. When the new Super Mario Bros. Games started coming out, they were a huge hit instantly, especially the first one on the DS and Wii. Both revived the old spirit of the 2D games, but improved upon them. But some claimed that the new Mega Mushroom power-up wasn't only seen in the DS version, but also on the Wii. But is this real? Well, sadly enough, it's not in the Wii version. Each game has unique power-ups, and I bet that the Mega Mushroom would also cause problems in the game due to the multiplayer aspect. Can you imagine the chaos it would create? It's crazy! Number 1. Now, we've covered a myth from Super Mario 3D World, but as many of you know, Nintendo also released a 3DS game that was similar to the Wii U title, and in it, secrets can also be found, and one of those is the ghost level seen in level 4-4, which is a ghost house level. According to the internet, if the player stands on the short wall behind the goal pole facing the fence and waits for a couple of seconds, a ghostly figure will appear slowly out of the background, and once enough time passes, it will unexpectedly open its mouth wide and flash, while fading out at the same time. But can this actually be found in the level? Well, yes, and it's quite creepy, which is fitting for the setting. Many have speculated what's going on here, but in the end, none know. But we at least know that this strange phenomenon is actually in the game. Now, those were all the myths, but don't worry, I did make more videos like this, so go check them out. And don't forget to leave your ideas below, because really, I read a lot of comments. once. And you can be featured in a video. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, leave your stuff below. Really, if you come up with a cool idea and I want to test it, the comment will be featured the whole 9 yards. I will shout you the shoutouts. Woo! And also like this video and subscribe. Click the bell button. That would make me very happy, and then I will die a fulfilled man, I guess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm very excited for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which I will cover heavily. So if you're into that, subscribe. Cool. Bye, everybody!